Good morning, brothers and sisters. Have you shouted for joy yet? You are Abba's own child. Shouldn't you shout for joy? Our own Abba is the one who creates this heaven and earth. Now we are calling God as Abba. What a blessing we have. We are the children of God. To be the co-heirs with the Lord, to inherit all things with Him. We shall shout for joy even just for this matter. We shall shout for joy all the days of our life forevermore. Abba, how precious we can be your own child. We can call you our daily. We can embrace your love. It is so precious that Abba really wants to stay with us closely. We sang this hymn, Behold, the veil is rent. Yesterday, Abba ran and embraced us. Can you see the Father's heart? I'd like to sing a hymn today. Is in God's Family Hymnal 8, page 21, bound with Abba daily. We will sing the first and the fifth stanza. I'd like to encourage brothers and sisters to have some time to be with God alone every day, to be with God heart to heart and bound with Him heart to heart. This is the greatest joy of your spirit. Here I bear witness to you all. When you draw near to Abba or the Lord alone, you won't feel lonely at all. Instead, you can confront your own self sincerely. You know what you need most, so that you know clearly what is your spiritual need. If you can draw near the Lord alone with sufficient time and go to somewhere nice, you will be inspired a lot and gain a lot. It's not wasting of time at all. Instead, you have made good use of your time. You might find you are strengthened every day. You are guided and have the focus. It will save you a lot of time and you are full of strength. This was my favorite hymn when I was a young believer, bound with Abba daily. There is no English version, so I have translated the lyrics in English. So let us read together. Oh, Father, I love to be with you alone, to talk with you freely. Your love to me is fresh ever. Renew my spirit every morning. My heart is free with you alone. Whether I am smiling or crying, leaving my close friend behind, and bound with you, daily alone. You cannot get the experience of drawing near God by listening to others. Every one of us shall have the first-hand experience and understanding with God. If we only hear from others how good and precious is God, we are not so attracted spiritually. When the big temptation or difficulty comes, we don't have enough strength to handle it. We need the Lord's love to compel us, especially His personal love towards us. We shall surpass all the difficulties by the Lord, and we can be boastful by Him. The greatest spiritual needs of you and I are the Lord Himself. We shall have enough time to draw near God alone. I'd like to encourage each other here. The verses I'd like to share with you is in the second letter to Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 9 and 10. And it said, "But he said to me, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecution, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong." So what was the weaknesses mentioned here? Definitely it is not talking about the weaknesses of committing sin. It is talking about the power of man or the lack in the situation. Just like in verse 8 mentioned, Paul has pleaded the Lord 3 times that the thorn could leave him. But the Lord said to him that his grace is sufficient to him. I believed what Paul meant was some difficulties in flesh, but the reply from the Lord was, "My grace is sufficient for you." He didn't take away the difficulties in his flesh. His difficulties remained, but the Lord's grace and power were sufficient to Paul and rest upon him. These words has helped me a lot when I was a young believer, for I have poliomyelitis. I like to tell you a story. There was a man named Sam. He had a car accident when he went for a field trip. The accident was not serious, just the car had a scratch. He then drove the car to the car mechanic for repair. He thought of his parents lived nearby, and it has been a long time that I haven't seen them for a while. So Paul decided to go to visit his parents and stayed overnight. The next day, when he left, his mother handed him the shirt which he had worn yesterday. The shirt was torn during the accident, and his mother has repaired it carefully for him. Sam was touched, but he thought he has the money and would buy another one instead. Sam was so busy in his office, he forgot all about it once he got back to his routine. He was wearing this repaired shirt most of the time in all occasions. He even made a good deal with his major client. When he went home, then he realized he was wearing the torn shirt. He took it off and threw it into the rubbish bin. The next day, he went to sign a contract with his major client. His client asked him, "The repaired shirt which you were wearing yesterday, why aren't you wearing it today?" The Sam answered him, and he was a bit embarrassed and said, I have washed it. And his client said, "I'd like to tell you, just in case, we like to sign a contract with you is because you were wearing that shirt. I can see that you are a 50 and hard-working man. A 50 and a hard-working man must be the best business partner. That's why we like to sign a contract with you." When Sam went home, he picked up the repaired shirt from the rubbish bin. He washed it and put it in the drawer, for he might need it one day. 1 week has passed. There were 2 policemen came to Sam's place. There was a guy was kidnapped and got killed. The kidnappers were arrested, and the policemen told Sam that these kidnappers were target Sam initially, and the policemen came to remind Sam to be alert. Sam was surprised and asked the policeman why the kidnapper didn't get him. The policeman answered, "The kidnapper said you were wearing a repaired shirt on that night. They thought you don't look like a rich man, so they kidnapped another one instead. Sam was shocked, for he never think of the repair shirt have saved him. After the policeman have left, Sam took out the repair shirt by his mother. He cherished this shirt very much, and this shirt became his favorite shirt. Sam wore this shirt in many occasions to boast of his mother's sewing skills and give thanks to what had happened on wearing this shirt. Brothers and sisters, we might more or less have weaknesses on us, things that can't compare with others, but it doesn't really matter. God will make use of all these things to glorify Him and to manifest His grace and might. And we will be more humble, and we have learned to give thanks. Brothers and sisters, difficulties very often is the catalyst of our growth. We can be stronger and grow faster. May the Lord help us to boast of our weaknesses. May the Lord bless us. Let us read the hymn, the translation again. Bound with Abba dearly. Oh, Father, I love to be with you alone, to talk with you freely. Your love to me is fresh ever. Renew my spirit every morning. My heart is free with you alone. Whether I am smiling or crying, leaving my close friend